guys, Jurassic Junkie here, and we're having a heat wave, so let's see how far I can get through without having to press that one through. So let's see how far we can actually get into filming this. I'd like to do a full Friday night rant, but the thing is, this room is so hot. For some reason, it's just, we've had a heat wave, and I just can't stand being in this room at the moment, so I'm doing it for you guys. But to cool me down, I've got a sponsored by drink, and we have got something different this week. As always, it is Hoegaarden Rosé. I'm a fan of Hoegaarden, and I've never seen this before, and I walked into a shop and saw it, so I nabbed it up quite quickly, so I don't know what I'm in for. Right, that probably means when I take this cork off, I'll end up taking a console out or something expensive in this room, knowing my luck. Right, bottoms up. Whee! That smells good, very good. Even got a proper Hoegaarden glass. Bottoms up. Oh yes, now that's nice. Don't get me wrong, beer shouldn't taste like that. The out with it too much. That's such a, not a man's drink. But on a day like today, that is absolutely gorgeous. It's like beer with strawberries. Can't go wrong. Wow, it's absolutely fantastic. Right, first thing. Over the last week or so, people have been asking my opinion on Onlive, this new console slash application that's come out. If anyone doesn't know, all it is you just download the Onlive app and you play games through it, but it's not like Steam or anything. You don't download the games. The games exist on the cloud, and you just connect to the cloud and instantly play them. So the idea is pretty cool. So I jumped on and tried to test it, and the idea is there's no installation time because it's already installed. Even when you want to play a demo, you don't need to download it. It's all ready for you, and the videos are all ready. It's just instantly there. So the second you want it, it's there. So the entire thing that they're pushing is quick. Look how quick we can be. So I signed up, put my name in, Jurassic Junkie, register, and then waited 9 hours for the account to be set up. So this thing that's pushing speed actually takes a very long time to register with. But once I got past that, I downloaded the app, which is like a couple of megs tiny, and also you can connect to it via an Onlive console box, which they've got, which is just practically a remote connection device to the servers. So once you connect into it, I was just very impressed by the second it loaded up. It just gave you like the normal intro that you get on a 360 or a PlayStation, which just said Onlive. And next minute it just panned out and there was like 1 million TV screens all playing in the shape of a globe. And then you zoom in to the actual screens and they're the menus. And while you're looking at games, it's actually giving you videos to do with that game. And if you click it, it just opens. It's not like it takes you away and shows you the video. It just comes up and then disappears. So there's not even any navigation in. You don't even do anything. It's just, there you go. And it's very, very nice. And it does what it says on the tin. And I went to click on a game to play it, and I pressed play, and 10 seconds later I was in that game. And that itself is very, very impressive. Downside to it is it's on a cloud, so you are practically limited to how fast your internet connection is. Now I've got 10 meg, which isn't the best, nor is it very poor. So I would say on average, connected, starting off pretty okay. Time I got into the game, it started to lag a little bit, and then when I was actually driving a car, it was giving me a frame every 2 seconds, which is just unbelievable. You can't drive at all. You're just seeing that, then a tree, then something else, then dead bodies, family of 4 killed. It's just, it's unplayable, which is a shame. But still, I was thinking like, this is exciting because it piqued my interest. I was so impressed by the way it worked, I wanted to give it another go, so I left it, come back to it to another day, and then I tried Batman, and I went straight onto that, and that just ran sweet as a nut. There was no lagging time or anything like that. So from what I've seen, I'm very impressed, to the point that I may even purchase a game on it. But as soon as you have a connection problem, you're messed up. You can't do anything, and that's the downside to it. At least if you buy it for the 360 or whatever, you physically got it, and even if your internet cut off, you still can play other games. Whereas with that, if they have a problem, you have a problem, or the internet's a bit slow, you're locked out completely. And that's the downside to it. So it's a shame. This is an absolutely brilliant product, but it's also a dangerous ground where it lives, the internet. But one thing which was kind of cool, but then I realised was annoying, was they don't give you demos. Because if you go onto your dashboard and you download a demo, it's obviously the game, but they rip major parts out, or they put a time constriction on it, or they've done whatever, but it's not the finished product most of the times. By the looks of Onlive, when you actually look at something, it isn't a demo, it's the actual game, along with a 30-minute timer. And when that's done, you're locked out of the game. So you're actually playing the real game. The problem with that is, when you actually download a demo, it normally chucks you in at a good part, so you get to have a good taste of the game. Whereas, if you stick somebody at the very start of a game and give them 30 minutes, they could spend 20 minutes of it reading or watching the intros. And that brings me to the first thing I really want to rant about, and it's games that don't let you skip. Because a lot of games have intros, and some games are good enough to let you skip the intros, which is kind of cool. But then every so often you'll get a game which has kind of got the bit, it's in the middle. It's not an intro, because it's actually through your eyes, but also you don't really control the environment, you're kind of on rails. And a lot of games to do that, especially Deus Ex. When I was playing that, first time I was going through, obviously I listened to it and I enjoyed it. But because I played it on the PlayStation, I realised I had to put my activation code in before starting the game. So then I had to start it again, and I'd sit there through the 10 minutes again without skipping it. Then the PlayStation broke, so I went in, sold it, brought another one, and I had to watch it for a third time. So the problem with it is this should give you a skip button. Don't get me wrong, if it's the first time you're ever doing it, you should have a skip button and then a confirm, by the way, if you skip this, you're probably going to miss a major bit out. But give us the option to bloody skip. Because when I got into Batman, I had to spend 10 minutes walking with the Joker. Now don't get me wrong, if I brought this game, that's pretty cool. It's probably going to set the idea up and, oh, this is how it all kicks off. But when you're on a timer and you can see it ticking down and you're having to walk very slowly beside a Joker that's going to go into the asylum, you're just going, come on! And it just annoys me that games don't give you the option to skip when they should. And the first thing I actually played on there was Dirt 3. By God, I will never play that game again. I don't care if anyone says it's the best game in the entire world. That is the worst for menus. The first was telling me about all the cars and everything. Don't care, just let me get straight in. Then it was telling me about my career. Where's the skip button? And then it went on to the mechanic going, oh, you're going to go on a race now? I know, that's why I've clicked start race. And it was just so much crap going on with no skip buttons at all, to the point I am not touching that game again. So yeah, all in all though, Onlive, very impressive, really piqued my interest, contemplating buying the actual little tiny console. The only thing I could advise anybody is, everyone should really download it and try it and see if your connection speed's any good, and if it is, use that just for your demos, because the amount of time that I see a demo and go, oh, I want that, and sometimes it can be a 2 gig download and you're talking perhaps an hour of downloading time depending on your connection speed. Well, at least on there you can go straight in and 5 seconds later you're playing the demo. So even if you don't buy games on it, it's a fantastic demo server. This is a bad combo, beer and heat. Last night, Battlefield 3. I was a happy Jurassic junkie. To tell you the truth, I didn't even know the beta was out. Because Battlefield 3 is one of them things that I'm just going to buy no matter what. There's no two ways about it. That game is mine. So when news comes about, I tend to not read it because I don't care what the news has got to say. I'm purchasing that game. So obviously it must have been saying this week the beta's going to go live and everyone can download it. And I just completely missed it until I was programming last night and Joe just says, aren't you going to try the beta? And the second she said that, ran downstairs, put the PlayStation straight on and just lost my life to that game. I've been reading on Facebook today, a lot of people are saying, oh, it's not blowing my socks off, or it's okay and all this lot. I really enjoyed it because it's not necessarily about the graphics or anything like that. It's the little tweaks that they've done which I'm really, really impressed with. Now, first of all, the graphics are stunning. The audio is fantastic. I think the sound on that game really, really is good and submerges you. But the things that I love now is obviously giving us Prone, which a lot of Call of Duty fans might say, well, we've already had that. Okay, we understand. But giving us prone. But the sexy thing is, first of all, I'm going to get shot by Joe for saying the word sexy about a computer game. But nonetheless, the sexy thing is, when I was lying on the floor, I actually had my gun out, and because there was some surface underneath the gun, he pulled his bipod out and then rested the gun. I thought, that's pretty smart. But then when I actually ran to a window and I was actually upright, it knew there was something underneath it and it put the bipod out again. And then I thought, you've really spent that time just building in their little features. And at one point I was just running down a hill and I could see a little flash. And it wasn't from the muzzle flash of a weapon, it was just the actual lens flare from a sniper rifle. And within that quick flash, that gave me a couple of seconds to dive out of the way. And when I was running on the ground as well, I just saw red instantly and realised someone's got a red dot and they've gone straight across my eyes, and it temporarily blinded me. And I just thought, that is very, very nice. So all these little features that they brought in there just made me love that game. And obviously everybody last night was all noob, so no one knows the maps and everyone was going all crazy. But it was quite funny that you went in and you could see the typical like Call of Duty mindset of players who just go run and gun, and then you got the Call of Duty fanboys who actually know you have to work as a team. And as we started, you had the rush people who went in and got slaughtered, and then you had about 6 of us all going underground. None of us had headset, well they could have, but I didn't have my headset on, and we were really working as a team even without communicating. I wouldn't advance until somebody had gone around the corner, and when he did, I pushed forwards a bit. And it just, that's why I like Battlefields, because it's the actual working as a team, which I never do actually get in Call of Duty. Whereas some people may say, oh, the graphics aren't as great as such and such. I tell you now, I'll happily lose graphics for them to put them small details in, because at one point yesterday I was down in a subway leaning against the wall and someone was shooting me and bits of tile was picking off and shooting past me, and I thought I would happily lose some pixels just for having things fly past me like that and submerging me into the game more. So all in all, I'm absolutely loving Battlefield. I'm more excited than ever about it. So for any of you who've actually played Crysis 2 on the console, the chances are you may have not played Crysis 1 because obviously it was a PC only. And I did play Crysis 1. In fact, it was the game that made me stop PC gaming, because I brought a graphics card especially for it, and I couldn't even ramp up the graphics because it was so advanced at the time, and it just made me go, you know what, forevermore I'm going to be spending £250 every year or so to just keep my graphics up to date, and that's what turned me to the consoles. But that aside, yes, I thought Crysis 1 was a really, really good game. Not super amazing, that a lot of people say, but it was a good game, and I think everyone should have a chance to play it. Being said now, that Crysis is now actually going to be coming out for the consoles, which is pretty cool. The best thing is using the CryEngine 3 for it, so it's actually looking pretty impressive. I expected it to just be a really bad port, but from what people are saying, Coca2 says when they looked at this Crysis 1 on the console, they said, is this going to be ported to the PC? Because it was that impressive, it kind of looked better than what the PC did back then, which is weird. But nonetheless, it's pretty cool. So I was like, yeah, I get to play Crysis again, because to tell you the truth, I really enjoyed the online modes. I thought it was quite different to everything else. It wasn't just normal deathmatch. So I was excited when I heard about the news, until they said it was a download only title. So it looks like they are really pushing this now and trying to get rid of this physical disc format, which is absolutely a shame. So I won't be buying it. There will be a day when I actually start saying I've done the switch and I'm buying download content and I'm buying downloadable games, but I don't want to. I really don't want to, and it's pissed off that they've decided to put it download only. Why on earth they can't release it on a disc? Because I think you would sell more copies, but then again, the sale market, I understand why they do it. It's just an absolute shame, and it's kind of f***ed me right off that I won't have a chance to play it again. So we've all been there, we've all played games, and we've always had that annoying kid on the end of the line, and sometimes that annoying kid is better than you. And when they are, that's even worse, and especially when they start talking down the mic and beating you. There's nothing worse. But I've developed a way to get around that now, which I'll go into another time. But nonetheless, I'm prepared for the kids, I know what I need to do. But apparently, a 46-year-old man, jobless man, wasn't. So he was sat there playing on his Black Ops, and a 13-year-old boy was schooling him. Apparently all day he was absolutely battering him on Black Ops, and at the same time giving him a bit of verbal. And instead of this bloke rage quitting, or sending him some nasty PMs, or even manning up and actually saying you are better than me, but he decided to turn his Xbox off, leave his house, go down the road because he knew this kid, burst into the house and strangle him. Yeah, we've all wanted to do it. Yeah, and the thing is, right, not only has he strangled this kid, the mum come in, separated him, obviously police got involved, blah blah. And now they actually said the man has apologised to the child, and the child was a bit confused why it happened because he thought he was having fun with this man on the internet until he strangled him. And the mum says, oh yeah, they're okay now. What do you mean they're okay? Are you letting a man that burst into your house and strangled your 13-year-old boy continue to play and speak to your child at night time? Are you a fool? I know the kid probably wasn't that much in the wrong, but I would have banned him from the Xbox just because I was so scared for his life if people are coming into the house and strangling my kids. And on top of it, I would have chopped that man's hands off in the first place so he wouldn't be able to hold a console. So how can the mum just sit back and go, oh, they've sorted out the differences now? He strangled your kid! So, on that note, I'm going to put us down to the question of the week. So as it's beta week for Battlefield, what I wanted to ask is, have you ever pre-ordered a game and then the demo or beta was released, you played it, and it made you cancel your pre-order? And for me, it was Aliens vs Predator. I remember being so excited for that game, just the way on paper it's supposed to work and how the screenshots made it look. I was so excited for it. Pre-ordered it, chucked my £40 at it. There's no chance I was even going to be persuaded not to buy this game. And the demo came out and I thought, wow, it's an online. We could all play online together. We'll have a bit of a laugh, just kill some time. And at the end of it, all of us went, meh, it's a good game. It's okay. Is it worth £40? And then we all just cancelled our pre-order straight away. So yeah, for me, it was Alien vs Predator. What was it for you guys? And I kid you not, that's exactly where the card was full. Just as I was about to say, ta-ra, it filled. So nonetheless, I just wanted to say thank you for all watching, guys, as I always do. And yeah, so hope you have a good weekend. It looks to be a nice sunny one. I'm going to go and enjoy some beers, enjoy some Battlefield. And I just wanted to say I really appreciate that the feedback I do get on the Friday Night Rants, because it originally started 26, 27 episodes ago now. So some good time ago that somebody said, just do a rant video, and I did, and I really, really enjoy it all the way through the week now. When I'm getting my news or something angers me, I'm always there with my little notepad writing it down and getting excited, or I can write this down for the Friday Night Rant. And even when I do write them down, I start to think, oh, that would be funny if I did this and did this. And I did have some things I intended to do today, but the heat just made it impossible to try to do, because I would just be a horrible sweaty man on the internet and no one wants to see that. So I just want to say thank you very much for taking the time to watch the videos. Cheers guys, bye.